If you're here reading these words, know that it's not by chance. There's something greater at work, something that chose this specific moment to touch your life. December 2024 is not just another month on the calendar. It's a milestone on your spiritual journey, a powerful call to awaken your true potential. Imagine December 2024 as one of those rare moments when everything seems to align in a kind of magical way. It's as if the line between the physical and spiritual worlds becomes super thin, almost transparent. This veil that usually makes it harder to cross between the two realms suddenly allows for a clearer, more intense connection. For many, this means a unique opportunity to understand themselves better or feel that different energy in the air. Now think about this. This kind of connection isn't just for a few chosen ones. In reality, it's available to anyone open to feeling, perceiving, or reflecting. It might come through vivid dreams, strong intuitions, or even those coincidences that feel like they were planned. And here's the most interesting part. This thinner veil isn't just about communication with something greater, but also about seeing things within ourselves that usually stay hidden in the rush of daily life. It's as if the universe is saying, "Hey, look inside yourself. There's something important you need to see." Many people might feel this as a call, not an obvious one like a voice telling you what to do, but a sense that something is shifting, that something bigger is happening. This change in the air might feel a bit uncomfortable at first because transformation, no matter how amazing, often requires us to confront things we've avoided for a long time. That's why December 2024 isn't just another month on the calendar. It carries an energy that can help us go beyond what we thought was possible. If you've ever felt like the universe sends signs, December is like it's Black Friday. Everything's there, amplified, waiting for you to tap into it. Think of this energy as a pressure cooker that's been building up heat all year. December arrives and boom, the lid can't hold it anymore, and everything bursts out at once. That's exactly what's happening on a spiritual level. Everything you've been experiencing, feeling, and accumulating throughout 2024, both the good and the challenging, comes to a point where it can't be contained anymore. The difference is that this explosion isn't just chaos, it's an incredible opportunity for transformation. This buildup of energy works like a push. It's as if the universe is saying, "You've made it this far. Now it's time to take a giant step." This intense energy can feel very different depending on your emotional and spiritual state. For some, it might be inspiring and bring motivation. For others, it might feel heavy, like a flood of unresolved issues surfacing all at once. And spoiler alert, that's exactly what happens. This intensity isn't something to fear. Even if it feels uncomfortable, it's there to shake up the areas of your life that need change. It's like when you decide to clean out that cluttered storage room at home. First, it's chaotic. You find things you forgot about, but in the end, the space feels lighter and more organized. In December, what was hidden or ignored comes out strongly. It's as if this accumulated energy is saying, "Hey, deal with this so you can grow." It might be something internal, like suppressed emotions or limiting beliefs, or external, like relationships or decisions you've been putting off. This moment isn't just about closing cycles, it's also about creating space for something new. December's energy is so transformative because it not only pushes you to let go of what no longer serves you, but also prepares you to welcome much greater things. It's a trade-off. You release what's weighing you down and gain something lighter, more aligned with who you truly are. Stepping out of your comfort zone is something we always hear about, but December 2024 won't just invite you to do it, it'll practically shove you. And before you roll your eyes, think, when was the last time you really grew without facing some discomfort? It's precisely in that uncertain space where you feel fear, doubt, or even resistance that the biggest transformations happen. Now, stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't mean abandoning everything or starting over in a frantic way. It's more about facing those things you know need to change but have been procrastinating on. It could be something simple, like opening up to someone or trying something new at work, or something deeper, like finally dealing with traumas or beliefs holding you back. This month's energy will put these issues right in front of you in a way that's hard to ignore. This phase is all about unlocking the potential trapped inside you. Think of it this way, everything you're capable of achieving is already there, just waiting for the right moment to come out. The problem is that the comfort of our routines, fears, and excuses creates a block. December will shake that block hard. You might even feel like you're being tested, but in reality, it's the universe giving you a chance to be your best self. Of course, there's no denying this can be challenging. Nobody likes feeling vulnerable or uncertain. But these challenges are like doors. Every time you pass through one, a piece of your potential is unlocked. You might discover strengths, talents, or even passions you didn't know you had. And you know what's interesting? These moments of discomfort are incredibly revealing. They show you who you really are, what you value, and what you're willing to do to grow. Even more, they reveal how resilient you are, even when everything feels out of place. Have you heard about the transformation of a caterpillar into a butterfly? It might sound cliché, but December 2024 carries exactly that vibe. It's that moment when you're thrown into life's cocoon, where everything feels tight, chaotic, and sometimes senseless, but deep down it's in that space where the magic happens. This energy works like a catalyst, something that accelerates the transformation from who you are now into who you're meant to become. What's different about this process is that it doesn't come gently. It's not one of those smooth changes you adapt to over time. Here, the intensity hits hard. You might feel a bit messy, like you're losing control of certain areas of your life, but in reality, it's just the old parts of you that no longer serve you being dismantled. The comparison to metamorphosis is spot on because, just like the caterpillar, we don't understand what's happening in the middle of the process. When the caterpillar enters the cocoon, it literally disintegrates. It seems like the end, but that's exactly how it grows wings. In December, the situations and challenges you face will feel like the pressures of the cocoon, uncomfortable, sometimes even scary, but essential for something new to emerge. This accelerated process also means things will happen quickly. You know those changes you've been putting off for months or even years. December might be the nudge or shove you needed, and there's no need to fear it. Every transformation feels uncomfortable at first, but it's always proportional to what comes after. The greater the discomfort, the greater the reward. Moreover, this metamorphic energy is deeply focused on personal growth. You might start noticing patterns or behaviors you hadn't seen before. Perhaps you'll realize that some things you thought you wanted no longer make sense for your life. It's as if December is that honest friend who tells you what you need to hear, even if it stings a little, because they know it will help you grow. When we talk about facing your shadows, it might sound heavy or even frightening. But don't worry, it's not about getting stuck in bad feelings. It's more like turning on a flashlight in a dark room. You finally see what's in there and can start organizing it. Personal shadows are those parts of ourselves we try to hide or ignore. They're fears, traumas, insecurities, or even behaviors we don't like to admit. For example, it could be a pattern of sabotaging yourself whenever something good is about to happen, or that resentment you've been carrying from something long ago but never wanted to confront. December 2024 will bring these things to the surface, not to punish you, but to set you free. When these shadows appear, the natural reaction is to want to run away or ignore them. But if you choose to face them, you'll find they're not as scary as they seem. In fact, they're like disguised teachers offering valuable lessons about who you are and what needs to change. Accepting your shadows isn't about blaming yourself. It's about understanding that we all have difficult parts to deal with, and that's okay. This phase might feel emotionally intense, but it's where true transformation lives. Think of it as a deep clean. You pull everything out of place, encounter things you'd forgotten or didn't want to remember. But in the end, the space feels lighter and more organized. Most importantly, you feel more at peace. The cool thing about this process is that by facing these shadows, you also discover a lot of good things about yourself. It's as if every dark corner holds a piece of your potential. When you integrate these parts, you start to feel more complete, more authentic. Here's a tip for navigating this phase. Practice self-compassion. Treat your shadows the way you'd treat a friend going through a tough time, with patience, empathy, and no judgment. This isn't about fixing or erasing those parts, but about embracing and learning from them. Imagine December 2024 as the moment you decide to do a deep overhaul of your life, not just your home or wardrobe, but the way you think, feel, and act. This deep purification energy works like a spiritual detox. It's as if the universe is saying, enough with carrying what doesn't make sense anymore. Let's clean this up. This cleansing starts with limiting beliefs. You know those thoughts that keep looping in your mind like, I'm not good enough, I'm unlucky, or I can't change. They might seem small, but they have a massive impact on how you live your life. December will help you identify these beliefs and question them. Where did they come from? Do they still make sense? And most importantly, how can you replace them with something that truly empowers you? Beyond beliefs, toxic patterns will also come into focus. These patterns might show up in various forms: draining relationships, habits that keep you stuck, or even constant self-criticism that never lets you rest. December's energy will shine a spotlight on these patterns, giving you the chance to finally break free from them. And negative energy? Oh, it's like accumulated dust. You don't always notice it, but it's there, weighing on your emotional, mental, and spiritual state. Sometimes it's external, like environments or people with bad vibes. Other times it's internal, like anger or sadness that's been bottled up for too long. This is the time to release all of it, to let go of what no longer fits in your life. Purification is not an easy process. It can feel like you're being emptied, leaving you with a sense of vulnerability. But in reality, it's just space being created for something new to come in. It's like clearing out old clothes from your closet to make room for pieces that truly fit who you are now. To make the most of this phase, some practices can help: meditation, cleansing baths, journaling your emotions, or even simple rituals like lighting a candle and visualizing what you want to release. The key is to be open to this cleansing, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Do you ever get that sense that something feels old, out of place, or simply doesn't fit in your life anymore? December 2024 brings an invitation to let go of those outdated things, beliefs, patterns, situations, and even relationships that no longer resonate with the person you are becoming. It's as if the universe is saying, it's time for a deep clean. This cosmic grand cleansing goes beyond surface-level tidying. It's the kind of reorganization that digs deep, uncovering things you didn't even realize were stored away. Imagine your life as a house that needs attention. December is when you decide to open all the cabinets, dig through drawers, and even confront those dusty corners. It might feel chaotic at first, but it's liberating. Why is this cleansing so important? Because for something new to come in, the old has to go. Think of a full bottle. You can't pour in fresh water unless you first empty what's inside. This is the invitation December offers. It's as if the universe is preparing you for a new chapter, but you need to let go of what no longer serves you. This process might involve people or relationships, those connections that no longer bring you joy or align with your current energy. It's a time to evaluate who truly belongs in your life. Habits and routines. What are the things you do daily that no longer make sense or keep you stuck? December gives you the strength to change them. Old goals and dreams. Perhaps something you once wanted no longer feels relevant to who you are now. It's okay to shift your focus and reevaluate what truly matters. This kind of cleansing isn't just practical, it's also emotional and spiritual. It's about releasing weights you didn't even know you were carrying so you can finally feel lighter. Yes, it can be uncomfortable to let go of something you've held on to for so long, but what comes afterward makes it worth it. Space to grow, create, and live a life more aligned with your true self. A great way to embrace this cleansing is by adopting small, symbolic rituals. Donate items you no longer use, write down what you want to release on a piece of paper, and burn or toss it to the wind. Even reviewing your goals and reorganizing your home can help align your energy with this moment. Transformation isn't something you can experience on autopilot. In December 2024, to truly ride the wave of change and make the most of the moment, you'll need to balance two things: surrendering to the process and actively engaging in it. Surrender. Surrendering here doesn't mean giving up or throwing everything away. It means trusting. Trust that everything happening, even the most confusing or uncomfortable moments, is part of something bigger. It's like being in a river. If you stop fighting the current and let it carry you, the journey flows more naturally. This doesn't mean being passive, but learning to release control where it isn't necessary. Practicing surrender can be as simple as accepting the emotions that come up without trying to suppress or fight them. It might be unexpected tears, lingering anger, or even exhaustion. Feeling is part of the healing process. When you stop resisting, you create space for energy to move and transformations to occur. Action. On the other hand, you can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. This moment calls for active involvement in your growth. It's like planting a seed. Trusting it will sprout is essential, but you also need to water and nurture it. Some practices that can help include meditation, one of the most powerful tools to connect with what's happening within you. It could be a guided meditation focused on releasing blocks, or something simpler like sitting in silence and focusing on your breath. Energy work. This could involve Reiki, chakra alignment, or even simple rituals like using crystals or lighting candles with a specific intention. These practices help release stagnant energy and open pathways for new vibrations. Intuitive journaling. Grabbing a notebook and writing freely about what you feel or think can reveal a lot about your subconscious. It's also a way to clear your mind and organize your thoughts. Physical movement. Activities like yoga, dance, or even mindful walks help align your body and spirit. Energy needs movement to flow, and moving your body is a great way to support this process. The most important thing is to see these practices not as obligations but as tools to make the process lighter and clearer. You can choose the ones that resonate most with you. And if you don't know where to start, that's okay. The very fact that you're willing to actively participate is already a huge step. The famous shadow work. It's that moment when you face what's hidden inside you, those parts you'd rather not touch because, let's face it, it hurts. But do you know what's incredible? When you confront your shadows, you realize they're not your enemies. In fact, they hold the keys to your healing and growth. What is shadow work? You know that fear of failure that stops you from trying something new? Or that inner critic that makes you feel like you're never good enough? These are parts of your shadow, pieces of yourself that were rejected, ignored, or repressed at some point. The shadow isn't bad, but it can cause a lot of trouble if you keep running away from it. Shadow work is like saying, "All right, it's time to listen. What do you want to teach me?" How do shadows show up? During December, intense energy can bring these parts to the surface unexpectedly. It might be an emotional trigger, a memory of something painful, or even patterns of behavior you thought you'd outgrown. The key here is not to run. If something bothers you, it's because there's a message in it for you. Radical acceptance. This is the heart of shadow work. Instead of trying to fix or get rid of these parts, the goal is to embrace them. Think of your shadows as scared children within you. They don't need judgment, they need care and attention. When you stop fighting your shadows and start listening to them, you discover they have valuable lessons to offer. Practices for working with shadows. Journaling. Write about your emotions, fears, and insecurities. Ask yourself, where does this come from? What does it want to teach me? Visualization. Imagine yourself talking to your shadow. Ask what it needs and offer support. Creative expression. Sometimes art can be a powerful outlet for processing emotions. Painting, music, or writing can help release what's stuck. Therapy or support groups. A therapist or a safe space to share can work wonders in this process. Why do this? When you integrate your shadows, something magical happens. You feel more whole. It's like taking all the pieces of a puzzle and finally putting them together. You stop running from who you are and start feeling more authentic, more connected to yourself. You know those moments that seem like pure coincidence, but deep down, you feel there's something more. Like thinking of someone, and they call you. Or stumbling upon a book with exactly the answer you needed. In December 2024, these coincidences, also known as synchronicities, will be everywhere, reminding you that the universe has a unique way of communicating with us. What are synchronicities? Synchronicity is when something happens so perfectly that it feels planned. It's not about luck or chance, but alignment. It's like the universe placing signs on your path to show you that you're in the right place at the right time, even if not everything makes sense yet. Why do they happen? During times of intense spiritual energy, like December 2024, the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds becomes thinner. This means messages, intuitions, and signs come through more clearly. Synchronicities are like little notes from the universe saying, "Hey, we're guiding you, pay attention." How might they show up? Repeating numbers. Ever notice 1111 or 2222 all the time? These numbers are like universal codes, often signaling alignment or that something important is coming. Words or phrases. Someone says something that deeply resonates with what you were thinking or needing to hear. Unexpected events. You're searching for answers, and out of nowhere, an opportunity or encounter seems to fall into your lap. Dreams. In December, dreams may become more vivid and full of symbolic messages. How to make the most of synchronicities. Stay present. The more attentive you are to the moment, the easier it is to notice signs. Avoid going on autopilot. Take notes. Keep a journal to record the signs you notice. Sometimes they only make sense after connecting the dots. Trust. Even if it seems silly or insignificant, trust what you feel. Your intuition is your greatest ally in interpreting messages. What if I don't notice synchronicities? That's okay. It doesn't mean they're not happening. Maybe you're just not tuned in yet. A good exercise is to ask the universe for clear signs and stay open to receiving them without anxiety. They might show up in unexpected ways, but always at the right time. The role of synchronicities in transformation. These nudges from the universe aren't just charming. They have a purpose: to remind you that you're not alone, that something greater is guiding you, even in tough moments. They help strengthen your faith in the process and give you that extra motivation to move forward even when things feel confusing. December 2024 isn't just about noticing synchronicities in the external world, but also about realizing how much more connected you are with what's happening inside you. It's like your intuition, that inner voice we often ignore, becomes louder, clearer, and harder to dismiss. Dreams and spiritual sensations may also gain new intensity, as if they're direct messages to help you on this journey, intuition taking the lead. Intuition is that feeling that comes out of nowhere and seems to know more than your rational mind. You know when you feel like something will go right or wrong before you have any proof? That's exactly what we're talking about. In December, this sensitivity might be heightened. You may start noticing thoughts or sensations that, when followed, lead you exactly where you need to be. To trust this inner voice more, it's important to practice silence. It doesn't have to be anything super formal, like meditating for hours. It can simply mean taking a few minutes to breathe, sit in quiet, and listen to what comes up. Dreams as messengers. If you tend to have vivid dreams, get ready. December might turn your nights into deep insight sessions. Even if you usually don't remember your dreams, you may notice they become clearer or carry more direct messages. It's like your subconscious mind is using this month's energy to send you important messages. Dreams might come filled with symbols like places, people, or even situations that seem confusing, but don't stress about interpreting everything at once. Sometimes simply writing down what you remember is enough to reveal patterns and insights later on. Connection with spiritual guides. For those who believe in spiritual guides, angels, or even the higher self, December is an excellent time to feel closer to this energy. It's as if the channel between you and these invisible forces is more open. You might experience this as a sudden sense of peace, a strong intuition, or even a voice guiding you in moments of doubt. If you want to explore this connection further, try simple practices like guided meditations. Choose one focused on spiritual connection. Direct questions. Before sleeping or meditating, ask something to the universe or your guides and pay attention to the answers. They might come in dreams, feelings, or synchronicities. Card readings. Oracles like tarot cards can be interesting tools to translate what your intuition or guides are trying to say. How to integrate this into daily life? The key is trust. The more you give space for your intuition, dreams, and guides to manifest, the easier it will be to interpret and use these messages. Remember, you don't have to understand everything right away. Some answers come with time, and just being open makes a huge difference. December 2024 is going to be intense. That much is clear. To handle all this energy, it's important to protect yourself and strengthen what we call spiritual defenses. It's not about something bad attacking you, but rather that this transformative energy could disrupt your mind, emotions, or even your body if you don't create a balance point. What are spiritual defenses? Think of them as an energetic armor that helps you filter what you absorb and how you process what's happening around you. Just like the physical body needs food and rest to function well, your energetic field also needs care. In December, with so much dense energy circulating, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or emotionally shaken. Practices to strengthen your defenses. Grounding. Being grounded means being connected to the earth, which brings a sense of stability. When you're grounded, you're less easily swayed by emotions or others' energy. Some simple ways to ground yourself include walking barefoot on grass or soil, visualizing roots growing from your feet and connecting to the earth's center, spending time in nature, breathing deeply. Energetic protection. Creating a shield around yourself helps keep your energy clean. This can be done with visualizations, like imagining a bubble of white or golden light surrounding you. You can also use tools like crystals. Black tourmaline and obsidian are great for protection, or smudging herbs like sage and rosemary. Cleansing routines. December's energy can accumulate emotional or mental weight, so regular cleansing is essential. Energy baths. Add coarse salt, herbs, or essential oils to your bath water and bathe with the intention of releasing what no longer serves you. Music or sounds. Use mantras, Tibetan bowls, or even relaxing playlists to help elevate your vibration. Balanced mind. Practicing mindful breathing or meditation helps keep your focus in the present, especially when things get intense. A simple exercise is to inhale while counting to 4, hold your breath for 4 seconds, and exhale while counting to 4. Caring for your environment, your home or workspace also reflects your energy. In December, it's worth opening windows, organizing clutter, and making the space lighter. Even adding plants can bring a sense of peace. The importance of self-care. This is fundamental. December might push you to want to solve everything at once, but it's important to respect your limits. Take time to rest, do things that make you feel good, and especially avoid situations or people that drain your energy. In the end, strengthening your spiritual defenses isn't about shutting yourself off from the world, but creating a safe space within and around you so that transformation happens more smoothly. With all the heavy and transformative energy of December 2024, it can be easy to get lost in the challenges and forget one of the most important things: taking care of yourself. When everything around you seems to be in motion, it's essential to have moments of pause, relaxation, and joy. After all, it's in lightness that we find the strength to keep going. Why is self-care so important right now? Transformation is a process that demands energy, physical, mental, and spiritual. If you don't pay attention to your own needs, you may end up feeling drained or discouraged. Self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity, especially during such an intense period. Practical ways to practice self-care. Create moments of pause. Take a few minutes out of your day to do something relaxing. It could be listening to your favorite music, enjoying a calm cup of tea, or simply lying down in silence. It doesn't have to be anything grand, but these moments help recharge your energy. Take care of your body. Your body is the vessel carrying you through this transformation. Pay attention to what you eat, how much sleep you get, and how you move. Light physical activities like yoga or walks can help relieve tension. Connect with what makes you happy. Think of those things that bring you joy but often get pushed aside. It could be cooking, dancing, painting, reading, or watching something that makes you laugh. Cultivating joy is a powerful way to raise your vibration and balance your emotions. Create a safe space. Turn your home or a special corner into a place that brings you peace. Use candles, scents, or objects that inspire you. A welcoming environment can make a big difference in how you face external turbulence. Make space for emotions. Self-care also includes letting emotions flow. If you need to cry, cry. If you want to laugh until your stomach hurts, laugh. If you feel angry, find a healthy way to express it. Suppressing your feelings only adds unnecessary weight. Cultivate joy amidst chaos. It might seem contradictory, but finding joy in the midst of chaos is one of the greatest signs of resilience. It doesn't mean ignoring what's difficult, but remembering that even in the most intense moments, there are still reasons to smile and feel grateful. An important reminder: you don't need to earn rest or moments of pleasure. They are essential, not rewards. When you prioritize your well-being, it becomes much easier to face challenges with clarity and strength. Do you ever think you've overcome something only for that memory or emotion to come rushing back unexpectedly? December 2024 will be full of moments like this. It's as if the universe is shining a giant spotlight on unresolved things from your past. But before seeing this as a problem, consider: this is a unique chance to finally put an end where it's needed. Why does the past resurface now? During periods of intense energy like December, buried emotions and memories tend to rise to the surface. This doesn't happen to make you suffer, but to give you the opportunity to heal old wounds and move forward without carrying that weight. These issues may appear in various ways. Unexpected memories. You might remember something you thought was insignificant, but now feels impactful. People from the past reappearing. This could be an ex-partner, an old friend, or even a relative with whom you had conflicts. Repetitive patterns. Situations you've lived through before may repeat, signaling that it's time to learn the lesson. The opportunity for healing. When the past resurfaces, you have two choices: ignore it and keep carrying it, or face and resolve it. Choosing the latter is liberating. Here are some ways to work through these issues. Identify what still hurts. Ask yourself, why does this still affect me? Often the pain is tied to something unexpressed, unforgiven, or unresolved. Practice forgiveness. This isn't about saying what happened was right, but about releasing resentment. You can write a letter to someone, even if you don't send it, expressing everything you feel, and end it by offering forgiveness to them and to yourself. Use symbolic rituals. Writing what you want to let go of on a piece of paper and burning it can be a powerful gesture. Physically releasing something helps emotionally release it too. Seek support if needed. Therapy, conversations with trusted friends, or spiritual practices can help you process what comes up. Closing cycles. Resolving past issues is like closing chapters of a book. You don't forget what happened, but you stop rereading the same pages over and over. This creates space for new chapters to be written, lighter, more conscious, and more aligned with who you are now. A valuable tip: be gentle with yourself during this process. Revisiting the past can be painful, but it's also incredibly freeing. Remember that every piece you heal is a step closer to your emotional and spiritual freedom.